Former Jamba Juice CEO James D. White has focused a lot of the last few years of his career on mentoring leaders. His latest book is on the importance of building a strong and lasting company culture. Talking to Bloomberg, White addressed the recent pushback on DEI.
Yes, I think the conversation has definitely changed, but I think the best leaders, at least the best leaders that I work with, they've got a true north. They're very focused on their values, and they know that if you put people first and you create an environment where all the humans get to do their best work, you're going to always win.
White's latest book is Culture Design, How to Build a High-Performing, Resilient Organization with Purpose, and he wrote it with his daughter, Krista White. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, the job works in your favor. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more on materials they rely on every day. Get up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more, and up to 25% off Pergo Evercraft laminate flooring. Put Pro Savings Days to work for you. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowes.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Hello there. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. That means today is Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about St. Patrick's Day because it's just not my holiday. And no, you are not Irish today. So just in case you need a little bit of a reminder. Speaking of reminders, there's a story that has been getting a fair amount of traction on the social medias. In fact, my colleagues, Bailey Coleman and Homer Blow, tackled this subject during their program from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. And this is a story that is very familiar to me, albeit from a different time. Young people and underage drinking and attending establishments made for adults go together like peanut butter and jelly, and it is as American as apple pie. Young people will always try to get into, connive their way into, and sneak into establishments that are not meant for them. In fact, I would almost call it a rite of passage. I remember back when it was a big deal to sneak into an R-rated movie. Can you guys even imagine a world where you had your ID checked before you could even go and see a movie? And so what we would do is we would buy a ticket to the Disney movie, you see. That gets us into the theater. And then we would pretend as if we're walking into whatever Disney movie was playing. I don't know what Disney movies were playing when I was growing up, Bambi or Cinderella or whatever it was. And then we make that turn and go into the R-rated movie. And it was just adrenaline because you're sneaking into a movie that's for people that are over the age of 17. It's just something that we did. Now, I want to get into the details of the 16-year-old and the 17-year-old that snuck into Prime Social on the 7200 block of North 76th Street. Interesting, that establishment where Prime Social is located used to be a Thai restaurant called the King and I. They got the hell out of there. And then prior to that, I'm really going to jog your North Side Milwaukee memory. It used to be a Packing House restaurant. Yeah, that Packing House that's on 900 East Layton. They used to have a location in the same building as Prime Social. But here's the thing about the Packing House. They left in 1993 because the neighborhood was getting a little too rough. Imagine that. So I'm going to give you the details of the story to get everybody caught up. But there was a birthday party. I don't know who the birthday party was for. I'm assuming it was for some adults. Maybe not. I'm not sure the details of who was hosting the party at Prime Social, which is an alcohol-serving establishment that, to the best of my knowledge, per the information that is available, does not have a specific night for teenagers. Now, in the city of Milwaukee, as a lot of you can recall with great fondness, we had all sorts of teen nightclubs and establishments for those that were under the age of 21. We no longer have those. And maybe that's a shame that we don't have those anymore because young people don't have the same kinds of in-person options that we had a generation ago. So I have also thrown parties at establishments, at nightclubs. And I have paid money for maybe my alcohol or maybe even for additional security. I had a huge bash for my 40th at a nightclub called Rumor. Rumor is long closed and probably for good reason. But I remember laying out the plans for management, and I paid really good money to have sections and seating, and I bought all of the alcohol in advance. And then I remember, because I paid a lot of money, and if I'm going to pay a lot of money, there's going to be an understanding and an expectation of the service I'm going to receive for my money, because I could have had my party anywhere. Chose to have it at Rumor. So I remember getting there a couple of hours prior to my guests getting there before the club opened, because I didn't want security to hassle my people. Because remember, I paid real good money, you see, for my sections and for my bottles of vodka that I had for my guests. It was my 40th birthday. It was a very big deal, you see. And I made it very clear to security, and management knew as well. When someone says that they are here for my party or to see me or they're here for Sherwin, leave my people alone. Don't mess with them. Don't badger them. I think we even got some relaxation on the dress code because I didn't want people to have to go all the way home and have to change their clothes and get all the way fancy to come to my birthday party. I'm sure when Hughes come as you are. And plus, I had essentially a rental agreement with this establishment, so I wasn't necessarily under their rules. I had my own set of rules because I paid for their space, and in the space that I paid for, which of course was sectioned off in their nightclub, the rules temporarily belonged to me because I paid for the suspension of the club's rules. Are you following where I'm going now? So when my folks showed up, they said that they were here for Sherwin's birthday party, and they got right in and they were escorted to the area in which I essentially rented from this nightclub. Now, because I'm an established gentleman, I don't know any people, nor would I be hanging out with any people, nor would I invite any people that are under the age of 21. Even if I had friends that wanted to bring their children, which in Wisconsin is legal and permissible. If you're a parent, you can bring your children to bars. I think it's trashy. I think it's gross, but it's legal. But I would have told those friends, no kids are allowed, even though they could have brought their underage children, because I don't want the headache, and I don't want a bunch of old people and adults mixing and mingling where there's alcohol and there's also teenagers and children. That's just not a good look. But I can thoroughly understand how the 16-year-old and the 17-year-old were able to get into Prime Social, and I don't even know if they showed IDs. You probably don't even need an ID. But if they said, hey, I'm here for so-and-so's party, I'll bet you security was told, because at least in the situation in which I rented out space at a nightclub, security stood down. But I also told security that I will take responsibility for my people. I'm paying you guys for the alcohol. I'm paying you guys for the space. I'm paying you guys for the accommodation. I'm going to do you a solid. I'm going to pre-vet all of the people, because people that I didn't want coming weren't coming. Because I'm going to take full responsibility, which is sometimes a really bad idea, but I know my friends and I know my family, and I will take full responsibility for their actions and their behavior. Because one thing I'm not going to have my friends and family do is embarrass me at my party. But I don't think any of them had to show ID. Now, also, it's a bit of a different story because none of my friends even appear to look under the age of 21. But people are wondering, how did a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old get into Prime Social, which is an adult alcohol-serving establishment? If they said they were there for a party, security probably just walked them right in. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back. Looks like we're going to be talking to Alan, which is going to be a doozy. I'm going to look at the liability. And yes, it's unfortunate that there was an altercation, but are you really shocked? Any liquor serving establishment in the city of Milwaukee, there's going to be an establishment because, liquor. And let me also be clear about this too. We as under 21s in this city, and we had plenty of places to go in the 1990s. We had a plethora of options of places we could go to that served people under the age. When I say served us entertainment, not necessarily alcohol. But we had a ton of places to go. We could have went to the mall. We could have went to the movies. We could have went to a park. We could have went to the lakefront. Whole bunch of. We had teen nightclubs, under 21 nights. Literally every single day of the week there was something going on. And no, curfew was not a thing. I ain't never seen curfew get enforced in this city. Ever. For a brief period of time during COVID, curfew ain't even a thing, and it's a waste of time. We don't even have the truancy abatement program. Do you guys remember when we used to have sheriff's deputies that would drive around the city during the school day and pick kids up that were cutting school and then take them to the Boys and Girls Clubs and they'll call their parents and the parents will come pick? We don't even have that no more. So if we don't have truancy abatement anymore, you know that curfew is not going to be enforced. Plus, we don't have enough rank and file officers out there on the streets to handle the damn homicides. So it's not a matter of curfew. Curfew has always been an afterthought in this city. But we as under 21s, we knew which bars we could get into. It's a place called the Bradford Beach Club, called BBC. I don't even know what the hell it is now. It's right there on the Farwell and the North Avenue. I don't know what it is now. Everybody knew you could get into the side door at BBC. You ain't have to be 21 years old. In fact, that's where we used to go shoot pool. So another place is called Judges. You guys remember Judges? Judges was so bad with the underage drinking, they tore the whole building down. There was nights we'd go to Judges where I don't think anyone was over the age of 21, including the damn staff. So we as kids always knew where we could go to underage drink. But the liability is not on the establishment. They can't know how old every damn body is. The liability was on us as underage drinkers. I'm going to take a break, come back, we'll get into the conversation. Also, we have a poll on the YouTube, slightly unrelated to this topic. Should the United States be defending Israel? Just curious. Should we be shooting and bombing and throwing bottle rockets and firecrackers at other countries? Because, Israel, which the only people that are actually from there are Palestinian. And I say that because if you do a DNA test on the Israelis, they're all like from Europe. So whatever. Should we be defending them and their free health care? Just curious. So if you go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe. You'll be able to vote in our YouTube poll. Should we be defending the people in the Israels? The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube. How? Every day from 1 to 4. Truth Nation, I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. Hey, how? I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's gonna be different. I ever fall in love again, a big friend. Yeah. I like them cool and kinda cocky, not too much to make it move. And try to lock me, try to take away the jewels. You cannot stop it, gotta understand the rules. I've been the type to wear the heart on my sleeve. Been the one to always choose the wrong play. Not the type to ever see me lonely. I keep my socks on during loving. In and out, baby, in and out.
833-212-1017 is our telephone number. Put it in your phone, save it. Drunk dial us whenever you want to. Let's talk to... Oh, hello, Alan. How are you? Alan, get your life together, buddy.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was cleaning the stove. It's St. Patty's Day today, by the way. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Do I look Irish to you?
You know what? You know what they always say about an Irishman? We're a blank turned inside out. I know all the insults. I grew up with them. Yeah, the most maligned race, and we get a day. Let's talk about the northern counties. But no, we should not be fighting Israel's war. You know what? Can I say something? What you just said struck me remarkably as to what did you ever hear about a church, about a guy named Reverend Butler?
No.
Yeah, the Church of the Identity Christian.
No, I don't know who that is.
Read up what he says about the Israelis, man. And he was a federal. I always told everybody that Butler was a snitch, right? But he was one of them white nationalist preachers. And what you're just out there in Idaho, right? When I was a kid, I fell for his nonsense for a minute. But I
you used to be a white nationalist. You used to be one of those, right?
I'm always white, but
a white nationalist. There's a difference.
Well, I'm telling you some stuff. How do you think I know all this? But the way you're talking, what you're talking right now is how we, Zog and all that, the Zion occupational government, so you're absolutely right. No, we're not defending Israel. But you know what? When you have a child, I look at Iran as like a child. When a child spanks, when a child does something to you, they get spanked. They blew up our embassy, man, with Beirut. And in Beirut, they were a proxy there. And then they kidnapped our guys. They did what they did. And then they've been taunting us for, for 47 years. So they need to, they had to answer for what they did. And if it coincides with them, believe me, Israel don't control the United States, okay? Maybe they did for a bit. The banking and all that stuff. I understand that. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Adam Schiff, and all. I could lecture that. I used to go around making speeches about this stuff. But
who?
My daddy was the real deal. You know who Gordon Call was, right?
No.
Look up Gordon Call, man.
No.
Read about Gordon. Yeah, he was at our house when we were kids. He was my dad knew them. I got some tapes. A guy named Stuart Crane too. He used to go around.
Alan,
and
do you think that I'm going to spend any of my precious time looking up nasty, piggish, white nationalists, white supremacists that should all be hung by ropes? Do you think I'm going to look them up?
Why don't you read how Gordon Call went out again and tell me he was a coward? He weren't no coward.
What is happening?
Well, you wanted to talk about that stuff, but what I'm telling you is, hey, can I do something real quick?
No, you can't.
I want to sing to you real quick. What? I want to just hear. I want to sing an Irish song real quick. Ready?
God!
Listen.
Go ahead.
Why not?
Do it. Say it. Better
to
be
my
good.
mama.
It better be good.
I'm the best, Sherwin. To-la-lu, la-lu, rai. To-la-lu, rai. Hush now, little baby, don't you cry today. To-la-lu, la-lu, rai. To-la-lu, rai. Mama, to-la-lu, la-lu, rai. He's an Irish lullaby. Hey, God bless you, Sherwin. That was nice of you. Thank you. That was to my mama. She's up in heaven.
Thanks, Alan.
I told you I can sing. I can sing. There you go. I'm kind of misty. I'm thinking about Mama. We got to drive down after work. We got to drive down to Kenosha. I'm going to go sing at the mausoleum.
I love the poorly educated.
That's enough, folks. It wasn't that good. Okay. Well, thank you, Alan, for...
Hey, what did you do for your birthday? What did you do for your... Happy birthday again, by the way. What did you do for your birthday? Anything fun?
Yeah, I went to this place called 90s 2K on King Drive, and then I went to the Bucks game that's last Saturday, or the Saturday of my birthday, and then I went to dinner with my mother and my brother. We went and got Thai food, and I think I did.
Where'd you go for Thai food? Where did you go for Thai food?
I almost don't want to tell it because I don't want people to know. It's in Brown Deer.
Okay. I don't know that. We used to go to, what is that? The King and I downtown there. We go there. I haven't been there in a bit, but they really, I love Thai food. I do. I'm going to have to try that one out based on your recommendation. Like I bought that cologne you said you never, what is that one? Wanted. You said you never talked about, but Ty swears too. She says, baby, that's why you bought that, because Sherwin recommended it.
When did I ever recommend Wanted? I recommended that?
Yeah, you did a couple of years ago. I went and bought. There's two Wanted. There's Wanted, and then you said you got to get the Wanted by night. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go buy it. So I went and got it, and it's killer. Just like I was at, did you ever wear the Eros? The God of Love, what is that, Valentino or one of them?
No.
It's in a red bottle. It's pretty good. You'd like it, I think. Then I was at I'm going to give a shout out here to the guy smells really good at the dang where you send packages up there on Brown Deer by my church. The UPS store. He recommended this. I'll tell you the name. Let me run down where my stuff is.
Why are we doing this? Why is this happening?
Well, because it's fun. I'm acting normal, actually, for once. There you go. I'm fired up. I had to tell you happy birthday, man. I genuinely love your show. I got fooled the other day.
It was 2 weeks ago.
I know, but I haven't spoke to you since then. We've been kind of busy. This one here, okay, Savage. I'm trying to find this one that the guy recommended. I think you'd like it. Here it is, right here. Do you ever wear the Lacoste? The Lacoste green is good.
No, I don't like to wear that.
It's Valentino.
It's too strong.
Valentino. It's the new one that come out last year. It's I don't know if it's called Born in Rome or what it is, but a guy told me it's Umo.
All right. Thank you for your. We all right then. Thank you so much. All right then. That's. Why would I ever recommend a cologne? I must have been off that day because I usually off my rocker because I don't want a bunch of men in this city smelling as utterly delicious as I smell. So I don't know why I would.
The cologne was gifted to you in front of all of us.
No, not that. What he's talking about was not. Oh, that cologne I got for my birthday. I'm not telling nobody what that is because that joker right there is a secret weapon. I had women ready to leave their husbands for me over the past weekend because, you got to give cologne a test run. You got to give it a try. You understand? You just got to give it a little and you got to see how the night unfolds. Oh, that night unfolded. It unfolded. It opened up wide. That's some good stuff. Shout out to Vince. Got me that good smelling cologne for my birthday. It's a secret weapon for sure.
It was a fun weekend, I guess. Huh?
I had a good time. I had a nice time. Alan just took me in such a direction that. Okay, what happened? Oh, yeah, right. You got a bunch of kids in a nightclub that got choked out. First, let me just go ahead and just clear the air. Stop holding. I'm not going to say parents. Parents you hold accountable and responsible for the actions of their children. But you can't with single mothers because they're victims, because there's nobody helping them raise the kids, and it's just them, and they're raising the kids, and they can't know where their kids are all of the time. You can't hold them responsible. They can't even make their damn kids go to school. You don't know where those kids are going to be. They're a single mother, and they're struggling, and it's very sad because they made a choice to have a baby, and then they had the baby, and now, boom, all of a sudden they're a victim. So you can't ever hold them responsible for what their children do. They're just trying to make it in the world. They probably don't have enough money. They're probably struggling. They probably live in a Barada property, maybe. I don't know. Statistically, it's probably true. And they're just trying to make it through life. You need to make sure that we are not holding these women responsible for the actions and the behaviors of their children, because that's toxic to hold somebody responsible for their behavior and the behavior of their children. You guys need to stop that. Leave them alone. They need a break. Why are you guys always picking on black women? Seriously. You're always picking on them. Leave them alone. Leave black women alone. They're trying very hard, and it's tough out here, so they can't be held responsible for what their kids do. When their kids leave the house, they don't even know if they're going to see their kids again because, the world. So stop with that. Stop saying, oh, and you got to hold the parents responsible. What good is that going to do? I've even heard some of y'all say, oh, if the kids get in trouble or do something that runs afoul of the law, you should give the ticket to the parent, too, and lock up the parent. What is that going to do? I thought we didn't like the criminal justice system. I thought that the criminal justice system was so overwhelmingly racist. Why would you guys even suggest that? Leave these single mothers alone. They're victims of the baby they had. They had a baby. Now look at them. They're in the world with a baby, maybe multiple babies. And shut up with the birth control. Birth control is free. But it costs. You have to go get it, so leave them alone. You guys are putting way too much pressure. I think you guys just hate women. Is that what it is? You hate women? Telling women to be responsible for their children. You guys are the most misogynistic people. That's why y'all didn't vote for Kamala, because you hate women. Same thing. Not voting for Kamala, hating women, trying to tell women that they need to be responsible for their children. They can't know where their children are. They're single mothers, and they get sleepy. Single mothers need to take naps. They got to rest because they're working all the time and they're raising the kids, and they got to go to the store, don't they? They have to go out of the house. You can't hold them responsible for what their offspring are doing. They had the baby, and then immediately they got victim papers in the hospital. Like, hello, congratulations, ma'am. You had a healthy baby girl. Here are your victim papers. Even though you made a choice to have the child, that doesn't matter. If you don't like the choice or if the choice is too hard, blame everybody else. So leave the women alone. Okay, are we good? Now I'm going to take a break, come back, and explain what started as a Friday night birthday celebration at a North Side nightclub ended with 2 teenagers injured and one in the hospital, according to 2 Milwaukee mothers who say security guards at Prime Social Restaurant and Bar beat and choked their kids. Small side note. If those mothers beat and choke their kids, we would celebrate it and call it discipline. So think about that while I take this little brief intermission. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, now with more cowbell. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Brunch plans? Happy hour plans? Either way, get loaded. At Loaded Spud, we turn the classic baked potato into a full-on flavor experience. Swing through for brunch favorites like shrimp and grits and chicken and waffles, then come back after work for happy hour in our loaded bowls, paired with cold drinks and a laid-back vibe. Enjoy happy hour from 4 until 10 p.m. with special prices on loaded potato favorites and drinks. Bring your friends and get your Spud on. Big portions, big flavor, no ordinary bar food. There's always a good time to get loaded. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at letsgetloaded.online.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
The worst kind of whites, not that I'm picking on white folks, but you know how it goes, is the ones that think that they will lose something if this country becomes more fair and equal. I'm going to say that again. The worst kind of white people are the ones that think that if a Black person gets a job and gets an opportunity and they ignore how hard the Black person had to work and the racism, the bigotry, and the discrimination, and just how people turn their noses up at smart Black people. They hate us. And the Black person works really hard and overcomes maybe generational curses of poor health and poverty and all of those things. And we got to deal with the police and the criminal justice system that doesn't often have our backs. And then the Black person gets a job, gets an opportunity, and a white person sees that and thinks that they lost. Those are the worst kind.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon. Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Back too close, you ain't even know me. Trust my brothers from way back from the north. It's me and the order, spend it like they owe me.
Somebody in the YouTube chat thanked me for letting Alan sing his little Irish song. I just, the way I handle Alan is you might as well just let him. Because he's gonna anyway. He's gonna do whatever he's gonna do anyway. So while we're looking at the establishment, prime social, and why they may have let in some underage, 16 and 17 is really, really young. You would think that there would be, because I don't know all the details. I don't know what the arrangement was. Whoever had the party might have said, anybody who comes here for my party, let them in. And in that case, what is security to do? Because then you have a problem with the person they're probably paid an exorbitant amount to have their party, assuming that's even how it went. But 16 and 17 is really young. But the first lawbreakers are the 16 and the 17-year-old. So while we're looking at the establishment, they shouldn't have let them in. The kids broke the law first. When we underage drank, we knew that we were breaking the law. When we got our 40 ounces from White Hen Pantry or from Open Pantry for $1.90 and went to Brown Deer Park and drank them, we knew we were breaking the law. Yeah, did the corner stores that sold us that alcohol, were they breaking the law too? Indeed they were, but so were we. We also have a tavern league in the state of Wisconsin that I would argue is probably one of the most powerful alcohol lobbies in the nation. We have a very strong tavern league. The establishment bears very little liability when underage drinkers find their way into those establishments, because how are those bouncers and security supposed to know? They're not supposed to be FBI-trained detectives to be able to decipher a fake ID if a fake ID is shown. They've got no idea. What do we expect them to do? But we also expect far too much from people that provide safety and security services. Let's look at police officers. We expect them to be friends, counselors, therapists, de-escalators, crime fighters, crime stoppers. We expect them to be athletes because they got to chase people. Don't know how they chase some people because some cops are very fat. Put too much onus on security. Security doesn't know. So that was the first breaking of the law, but for some reason we're not going to hold these young people accountable. And also, when you're in an establishment you're not supposed to be in, and things that may happen in an establishment you're not supposed to be in, you got to bear some responsibility on that too, because if the 17-year-old and the 16-year-old weren't in that place in the first place, they wouldn't have got beat up and choked out. So they initiated the law breaking by even attempting to go in there. But for some reason, this is not being shared with young people, that they have some responsibility to be law-abiding, because if you break the law and then something else happens, if I go pick one of my friends up and they need a ride to the liquor store, and I say, Sherwin, can you take me to the liquor store? I say, yeah, I'll take you to the liquor store. Now, they didn't tell me that they plan to rob the liquor store and I am now driving the getaway car. Here I am thinking that I'm just driving a friend to the liquor store. I'm doing them a favor. You can't hold me responsible. They asked me to drive them to the liquor store. I'm going to drive them to the liquor store. We're going to get some liquor. I go into a park the vehicle, hopefully park it near a Tesla charging station. Park my vehicle at the liquor store. Let me go in here. Let me grab me something, too. Next thing I hear is, give me all the money! Being screamed by the person that I gave a ride to the liquor store. I'm like, oh, this was not accounted for. I didn't think this was going to happen. And then the clerk at the liquor store says, I'm not giving you nothing. And then the person that I gave a ride to the liquor store says, oh, yeah? And the clerk says, yeah. And they do that for a little while back and forth. Yeah. And they're going back and forth. And then the person that I drove to the liquor store shoots and kills the clerk. And then the person that I drove to the liquor store says, Sherwin, we got to go. And I'm thinking to myself, I probably should go, because staying here could be kind of dicey. So we get into my vehicle and I drop them off at home and I go home. Well, about 11 minutes later, Milwaukee's finest kicks down my door and they arrest me. I'm being charged with homicide even though I didn't kill anybody, because there was a homicide committed by an individual that I was with and connected to at the time. I am getting charged for that crime. I broke the law, even though it was unwitting. I was an accomplice and drove a getaway car in the armed robbery of a liquor store in which a homicide was committed. Both of us are being charged with homicide. If you are in the commission of committing a crime and somebody dies, you are responsible for that too. And let this be a lesson to folks, because one thing I know after doing this line of work for many, many years, the conversations that we have had, the phone calls that I have taken over the years, and you think these calls I get now are doozies. I think it was actually worse back in the day. For a culture and community of people that interact with the law so vigorously, we don't know anything about it. African Americans are a function and a creation of law and constitutional amendments. They had to make laws specifically for us to have basic human rights. 10% of the U.S. Constitution is dedicated to making sure that black people are citizens. We are literally a creation, a formulation of American law. Now, I don't think that that's right. I think that we're all people. We all should be equal. But sometimes some people need special protections because of the ignorance that is abound in the land in which they call home. So 10% of the Constitution essentially shields us from harm. It does. Some days it does a good job. Other days it doesn't do a very good job at all. But we need to know the law because we are a creation of it. And whenever we don't understand the law, we use that as an excuse. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before, but ignorance of the law is, in fact, not an excuse. Because you didn't know it was illegal doesn't mean you get a pass. Many years ago, when Derek Mosley was a city of Milwaukee municipal judge, he would come on my program probably every couple of months because the Wisconsin state legislature would pass new laws. And we, for the most part, don't follow, now really or then, the legislation of the Wisconsin state legislature. We might follow federal stuff. We might want to know what's going on in our city. But as far as state politics goes, very few people, unless you work in Madison or you're connected to state legislators, you really don't follow what's going on. And so Derek Mosley and I agreed that he would come on my program, this was many years ago, when he was a judge, because he would see all these people in his courtroom that would get, a lot of times, tickets, or they'd be charged with whatever violations of the law, and they didn't know that they were breaking the law because we, as a group, as a people, as a community, as a culture, do not follow the actions of the Wisconsin state legislature. So he agreed to come on my program to tell us about new laws, because here's what would happen. So there was a law that was passed. It was driving too fast for conditions. And they made this a law. If the police officer thought that because of the road conditions, it could be rain, heavy rain, torrential rain, it could be fog, it could be snow, it could be sleet, whatever. Milwaukee and statewide police officers were given additional latitude and discretion to pull you over and to give you a ticket for driving too fast for conditions, or in inclement weather, not having your headlights on. Now, most of us don't have to worry about that because the vast majority of vehicles that we drive have these things called daytime running lights. So they could cite you for not having your headlights on during reduced visibility and inclement weather. They also could cite you for driving too fast for conditions. And I see that all the time, even still. Hell, I saw it yesterday. Just because you have four-wheel drive doesn't mean you need to go 68 miles an hour on a blanket of snow on the highway. Because yes, if you have four-wheel drive, which my vehicle has, you can get going. You can get up to speed, but you can't stop any faster. So stupid. Y'all need to be glad I'm not a cop. I'd pull over your mama. I mean, I'd probably just say hello to her, but I would pull over everybody, because what are you going to do? Run from me? Oh, I'd love that. We got one. We got a runner. Pulling over everybody. Didn't use your turn signal? Bloop, bloop, bloop. I think they rolled that stop. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, I think they got weed in the car. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm pulling over. What are you going to do? Say I'm racially profiling you? I'm black. Shut up. A lot of times we don't know the law, and then when we get pulled over, we want to argue with the police officer that it does in fact know the law, and because we didn't know it or we were unaware that you could get a citation for driving too fast for conditions or not having your headlights on when visibility is reduced, we then escalate that situation based upon our ignorance. And what Derek Mosley wanted to do was share with my audience these new laws that we need to pay attention to. Now, that does not mean that any of us are going to follow the law, but we really should, because we are impacted by it more than anybody else, but we don't know it. Take a break, come back. I don't know, maybe read some comments. I probably should also give you the details of the story. The family say the teens were inside Prime Social near 76th and Good Hope Road when an altercation broke out around closing time. Now, the incident is putting a harsh spotlight on how local clubs screen their crowds and what happens when underage guests slip past the door. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talks stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talks specializes in a range of treatments including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The team color bomb bomb. The was on Jamaican. Different style, different fashion. You know? Tell me me say one thing Nancy can't understand. One thing Nancy can't understand. What make them a talk about me ambition? Say what make them a talk about me ambition? Come and say some of them a ask me where me get it from. Just some of them a ask me where me get it from. I told them
The families say the teens were inside Prime Social near 76 and Good Hope Road when the altercation broke out around closing time. Now the incident is putting a harsh spotlight on how local clubs screen their crowds and what happens when underage guests slip past the door. Also don't know if the teens were resisting being thrown out. Maybe I'm just a victim of my own algorithm, but you'll have people that want to challenge authority, challenge security, and challenge police, like punching them, hitting them, and kicking them. And then when that authority gets the best of that person that seeks to challenge them, like, boom, all of a sudden they become a victim. There's just this decided lack of discipline that has now become cultural. Like, you can't even correct anybody. You can't even tell somebody out of love that they're doing wrong and they should correct their behavior. There was the situation, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I refrained from talking about it because I don't want my show to just focus on when black folks shoot each other, because we're not going to get anywhere with that. It's not going to move the needle forward. It's just, I think it further diminishes the good things that black folks do that are still overlooked. So I don't really talk about murders and homicides. But you had a situation, I think it was Titonia and Green Tree, maybe. Somebody's playing their music too loud. Neighbor, and we don't know how the dialogue went. I know people can be rude if you're trying to rest or if you're not feeling well and your neighbor in the apartment next door or upstairs is playing real loud music and you get real mad, you get real frustrated, and you try to be patient. Oh, maybe they'll turn it down. And they don't, and you get real mad and angry enough to go and knock on the door of a stranger, because, you know, this world that we live in now is so different. If somebody knocks on your door, like, now you go into fear mode. Back in the day, people, you would just open the door. You guys remember if somebody, oh, look, there's someone here. Oh, the doorbell's ringing. Let's go see who it is. You had no idea who it was. Back in the day, you could just go visit people, friends and family. You wouldn't even call them. You just show up. Now you knock on somebody's door, they're grabbing a pistol. How dare someone come to inquire about me? Let me get my firearm. And so there was loud music that was playing, and I don't know if the interaction went south or sour, but it ended up with 2 people dead, and the woman was pregnant, and the 27-year-old man was charged with 3 counts of homicide, which started from someone requesting loud music get turned down. 3 people, including an unborn child, are now deceased because of that. Insane, the world that we live in. So you can't even tell people. You can't even correct. If you correct someone's child, and you might be correcting this child, and I say child under the age of 18, even though, can we admit that 18 is not an adult and stop saying that your kids got to leave at 18? You didn't raise them well enough to be able to take care of themselves at 18. They can't cook. They don't know how to keep house. They don't know how to take care of responsibilities. You didn't teach them how to pay bills. You taught them 0 about money. Stop saying you're going to kick your kids out the house at 18. Might as well let them stay till they're 40. Maybe then they'll have a little bit of responsibility and discipline under their belt, but I doubt it. Can we stop doing that? Can we normalize not kicking kids out of the house at 18? They're not ready for the world. Some of y'all are in your 60s and still not ready for the world. Yeah, you can't even correct somebody's child, because then the parent is going to want to fight you. Don't believe me? Talk to these teachers. These teachers are getting sick of our kids. They are. I also am curious, do you remember how much snow we had to get in the 80s and the 90s for them to call off school? feet. We would pray for a snow day. We got a snow day was as rare as finding a husband in a nightclub. We didn't get him. Be a foot of snow. And back then, there wasn't no internet, so you had to either call the school or read the little words at the bottom of the TV screen. You know why I think we have so many snow days now? Because, number one, teachers, they don't want to be bothered with your kids. So even the threat of snow, like, call it off. Yeah, let's call off school. But the other reason, and this has not been communicated to me, and it could be just my speculation or my common sense, so many teachers live so far outside of the city of Milwaukee that even a moderate amount of snow would make it difficult or impossible for them to get there. I would bet you that we got to be approaching 35 or 40, if not 50% of MPS staff, teachers, principals, administrators, safety probably live in the city of Milwaukee, but the people that have an impact on our children's curriculum don't even live in the city. 3 inches of snow? Snow day. They were talking about the snow day, and for a while, we didn't even know how much snow we were going to get. Well, we got plenty. That snow was heavy. I didn't like that snow. I tried to come to work yesterday. I was like, nah. Who am I kidding? Y'all will be all right if I ain't here. And plus, my mother is a new widow. I got to make sure she's okay. If my mother needs help with the snow, that's my primary responsibility. I got on a damn highway, and I was like, ain't no way. It's not even about me being able to travel on snowy roads. It's about all of y'all. Some of y'all need tires. You should, you remember, you got your tax check, and you was trying to decide, what should I do? Should I go get a crab boil, or should I buy some new tires? You should have bought the tires. So I'm not worried about my driving in snow. I've been driving in snow. How many years I've been driving? How old am I? 51? When did I get my license? 16? What's the math on that? 35 years I've been driving? That's a lot of snow. I know how to drive in snow. Some of you all don't. If I bring up the topic of reckless driving, a lot of people will be like, yeah, Sherwin, reckless driving is terrible. It's even worse than the snow. You think And now people will shoot you, because you saw the incident a couple of weekends ago where a mother of 3-4 kids, now she pulled out a semi-automatic weapon and was waving it around, but she got shot in the face because somebody hit her car. So I don't want to put myself in a situation in inclement weather where I might get hit, damage my property. And also, I live 4 miles away, and if it's going to take me as many hours to get to and from work as I'm on the air, I'm just going to stay home. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be back for hour 2.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
Brewers opening day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Want to protect our planet? The air we breathe, water we drink, and land we share? Real progress begins with birds. Yes, birds. The very ones we see and hear every day. On a walk, in the park, or simply out the window. That's because birds are more than birds. They're symbols, sentinels that reveal the health of our planet and our people. And by helping them thrive, all of us thrive as well. Audubon is a place where birds matter, where habitats are protected, where communities are engaged, and where change takes flight. Because at Audubon, hope begins with birds. Progress begins with birds. It all begins with birds. Audubon.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
They mean to tell me say some of them get confused. You mean to tell me say some of them I say them don't know how them get used. Jesus space too much man I try on them shoes, man. How them a deal with sir? Yo, easy sir.
So when bashment time come to sign up, we see send up for them out they can't line up. And them can't write no script now join up. Man must have spin them round out them twine up. And when bashment time come to sign up, we see send up for them out they can't line up.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Our phone number, if you're so inclined to call it or text it or whatever, is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Stacy says 21 Below. Stacy, was that the name of a teen nightclub? I think it was, but I think 21 Below was around after my teen years. Ron from the South Side says, HE double hockey sticks? No. He said that at 9:17. Ain't no telling what I was talking about at 9:17. Marcus says, Israel absolutely controls the United States and they own the copyrights to the Bible. Do they? Didn't know that. I know that a parent company of Fox News, I did a story on this probably a couple years ago. One of the parent companies or subsidiaries of either Rupert Murdoch's family empire and or Fox News. It's some like offshoot. They're the only company that publishes the Bible and have all the publishing rights to the Bible. Something like $400 million a year they make off the Bible. Quick question about the Bible. How did Noah have... Listen to me. Listen, I'm going to be objective for a second, which I know for you Bible folks, you guys hate that because you got to explain stuff with science and fact that's impossible. How did Noah put 2 of every single animal on the ark and the predators not eat the other animals? You ever think about, like, what do they eat? Because if you put a lion, 2 lions, you got to have a boy lion and a girl lion so they can hump and make baby lions. Okay, cool. You got a lion, then you got a gazelle. And the lion's going to be like, we can't eat them.
They were under the mythical spell of the Lord.
Y'all ever think about that for a second? How do you put 2 of each animal... Where'd they put the whales? Where was the killer whales at and the blue whale? Where were the sharks? That is gigantic aquarium? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just come on, you guys. Vince says, I agree, Sherwin, that cologne is excellent. A client of mine who is blind bought it for me and it makes the women go cray-cray. Please don't share the name of it on the air. I won't, Vince, because I don't know the name of it. The name, can you text it to me, though? Text me the name of the cologne. Because it's got a difficult name. It's got a lot of words in it. Vince said a blind guy recommended that cologne. You know, blind people got a good sense of smell because they can't see. They also can hear real good. So if you don't have your eyes, your other senses get heightened. Trust a blind person. They probably also have real good taste in music because they can hear stuff that most of us can't hear. WB says, did you mean to say Tory? Because you type toy. Toy, it says with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 question marks. He needs to stay in the background and be quiet. The answer to both questions is heck no. W, what are you talking about? Hang on a second. Do you know that in the Bible, its best day was modified to justify white supremacy? Just because many of our people are still bamboozled by the Bible doesn't mean it is the word of God. Stop supporting the Bible when you know the truth. Lay down the cross. There are useful, ethical, and moral aspects of the Bible. Just as in Aesop's fables, your intellectual philosophy gets in the way of the truth. And W. Benton sent that at 9:30, which I don't think we were talking about the Bible then. I'm not getting into the whole religious thing with you guys because I don't want to argue with you people because you get real emotional about it. I did see, because I like different people's perspectives on things, especially religion. God killed a lot of people in the Bible, like a lot, like Sodom and Gomorrah, and there was famine, and there was like a lot of death, right? But God loves us, but he killed pretty much everybody. But then the person that I'm listening to, as they're breaking down the details of the Bible, they said that the devil didn't kill anybody. I was like, wait a second, that's not right. The devil's the bad one. They're like, no. God murdered, maimed, drowned, burned alive, tortured, because, for your own good or whatever. But the devil didn't kill anybody. And I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to go into a heaven with a really angry dude? But he loves us, though. But the devil didn't.
You're about to have people coming up to this window.
No, I think people know that we needed religion as a form of control. Before you had laws, you had to have some kind of a fear mechanism to keep people in line. Because, like, the 10 Commandments are pretty good, right? It's all the stuff you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to kill people, supposed to listen to your mother and your father. You're not supposed to steal, unless it's oil from Venezuela, totally different, or people, or land, or the innocence of children. Like, those things are fine to steal, but like a loaf of bread if you're hungry, ooh, you're going to prison for that. You're not supposed to steal elections. The Republicans just, they very anti-biblical. But no, the 10 Commandments are a good, like, backdrop. You're not supposed to be an adulterer. Who's the sinner? The cheater or the cheatee? So if you're a married person and you go look for extracurricular humps, are you the sinner or is the person that obliges your extracurricular humps the sinner? Are you both sinners?
Do they know you're married?
It shouldn't matter. So that's not an excuse because the person, if I don't know the person is married, I'm still committing an act of adultery. I'm still committing it. So
I'm just being devil's advocate. I believe in Harry Potter more than the Bible.
I am petrified, and I don't use that term very often, by the number of women that routinely, as a matter of fact, habit, or right, cheat on their husbands. It is astonishing to me. If they are slightly unhappy, if the magic is gone, if the adventure is gone, if the routine becomes boring, if he isn't delivering on all of these grandiose promises that, men tend to make, she will be justified in finding excitement somewhere else. It is Holy smokes, fellas. God bless all of you, because you'll never even know. That's the worst part. It's so bad. Ugh. All right, let's talk about these damn underage kids. 2 Milwaukee moms say teens were attacked by security guards inside a North Side bar. Have we exhausted this topic yet? 2 Milwaukee moms say their teenagers were attacked by security guards inside a late-night restaurant and bar. Milwaukee police are investigating the incident as a case of child abuse. This appears in TMJ4.com. Kenyatta Dothard and Tamika Eason say their teenagers attended a birthday party Friday, March 13th at Prime Social, a nightclub near 76th and Good Hope on Milwaukee's north side, when an altercation broke out involving security guards, leaving the underage patrons injured. The group of teenagers allegedly paid their way past security for the birthday party. Kenyatta's 17-year-old son and Tamika's 16-year-old daughter were both part of the group. Police say that around bar closing on Friday, March 13th, an altercation broke out, which led to a security guard choking Kenyatta's son until he lost consciousness. Kenyatta says her son was waiting to retrieve a lost item when he was attacked and ended up in the hospital. He was bruised all up right here, where you can stop the oxygen from going to the brain and make them go to sleep. That's what the doctor told me, Kenyatta said. Describing the alleged attack to TMJ4's Ryan Jenkins, Tamika's 16-year-old daughter was also hurt in the altercation. Quote, her teeth, her mouth, the wiring of her braces is off. She's 16? Oh, come on. She's supposed to be at home playing with Barbie dolls. When do girls stop playing with Barbie dolls? Aren't they still playing with Barbie dolls at 16? Her teeth, her mouth, the wiring on her braces is off. Her whole mouth is swollen up, sore, Tamika Eason said. Both mothers say the establishment should be held responsible. Quote, the security guards losing control, jumping on the kids, also letting the kids in for money, all that, no ID, all that, Eason said. When asked what she would say to people questioning where she was when her son was at the nightclub, Dothard defended herself. Let me hear what she has to say. Quote, I didn't know that he was in the nightclub, but I did know that he went out with his friend for her birthday, but I did not know that's where the party was at, said Dothard. Ignorance is no excuse. Now, I know better than to put any kind of responsibility on this single mother, because we can't expect mothers to know where their children are, because stop trying to push that issue. Stop trying to make people responsible for how their kids behave, because if we could do that, Milwaukee would look different. So stop it. Don't put none of this responsibility on the mama. She could have had the location on the child's phone. She could have called the child, asked where she's at, where the child is. The mother could have asked, oh, it's a birthday party? Whose birthday party is it? Stop making the mother have to do all that extra labor. The mama already did labor when she had the babies, that she's absolved from any other responsibility. So stop asking her or telling her that she needs to take responsibility for where her children were. You know, that's going to be a dead end. Quote, I didn't know that he was in the nightclub, but I do know he went out with his friend for her birthday. Whatever happened to parents being slightly inquisitive? Because we know how the world is. And this is a way different world. Like now, kids get snatched up. They get Epsteined. There's shootings everywhere. There's school shootings. You would think that there would be, I'm not trying to tell parents to be like super duper overprotective, because you got to give your kids a little bit of freedom to explore the world so they can grow up a little bit and they can learn stuff. You got to give them some kind of leeway, especially as they get older and start approaching adulthood. I think the worst thing that a parent can do is keep their kids sheltered, because the world will swallow their asses up. Kids need to learn. They got to fall on their faces sometimes. They got to get in trouble a little bit. They got to see that their actions have consequences. Now, there's a time to make those kinds of mistakes when you're a child, because you're learning. That's why we go so easy on kids in the juvenile justice system. Most of these kids get probation. But then that's a warning, like, hey, if you commit this same act once you turn 18, you're going to go to big boy jail and big girl jail, where that's not fun, because you got to wear prison-issued underwear. And who wants those? Imagine who wore those underwear before you. You know what I mean? You don't want to think about that. Whew. How many different ankles those underwear had been around before you got there? You don't want to think about that. It's not a pleasant thought. I didn't know that he was in the nightclub, but I did know that he went out with his friend for her birthday. I did not know that's where the party was at, said Dothard about her son. Quote, when you keep the kids in the house too much, they're going to get out anyway. So you have to give them a little leeway. Well, who's raising who? I don't believe that my parents cared that I was in the house too much. I can't ever imagine either Eugene or Emma saying, you know, Sherwin, you've been in the house way too much. Go to a nightclub. You need to get out there and get laid, son. They didn't have to tell me that, actually. When you keep the kids in the house too much, you know what it is? We learned this during COVID. I also think that some relationships haven't recovered from COVID, and I say that because y'all were so sick of each other. Like, you didn't realize how much you hated members of your own family until you were stuck in the house with them for damn near 2 straight years. And I think some of the residual resentment from that is displaying itself right now. Parents didn't want their kids home all the time. You know how thankful parents are when school gets back into session? Because, I mean, they love their kids, but I have never met a parent that doesn't get sick of their kids. They may relish, when, I can't wait till you turn 18. Some parents, I think we're hearing less and less of that because parents know that when their kids finally do leave the house, the parent is going to be more sad than the kid is. But they do get happy when school starts back up again because parents get sick of their kids. And I can totally see this. Parents not caring where their kids are at because they don't want them at home, because that's the other thing. If you're a single parent, you got to have a life too, especially if you're a younger single parent. And if your kids are at home all the time, you can't hump. You can't. I mean, you can, but that's embarrassing. So for those of you that grew up with a single mother that dated, and I'm sure by the time you got, 14, 15, or 16, you were realizing that those guys that your mother was bringing home were not your uncle. You probably realized that, maybe even younger than that, you realized that. How did you deal with your mother bringing men home? My mother is 77 years old and a widow of like 3 months. I dare another man to come to my mother's house. I don't care if he's shoveling the damn snow. I'm like, excuse me, sir. What are you doing here? Who are you? Okay. You have anything in your pockets I need to be worried about? I would search him like a cop. How did y'all deal with that? Is this too personal? Because I'm fascinated. Because if your kids are at home, you got to be careful because you don't want them seeing adult stuff, And so I could see some parents, especially younger single parents, want their kids gone out of the house, don't care where the kids are at, because then mama can have her time. Mama can have a couple glasses of wine. Mama can invite over Tavares. Tavares, he just got out of jail. Always wears Timberland boots for some reason. Got a lot of tattoos on his chest. Mama loves Tavares, and she wants to have time with Tavares. And then sometimes the kids come home early and Tavares is still there. And sometimes when the kids come home a little early and Tavares is still there, the only thing that Tavares is wearing is just his Timberland boots. Like he's standing in the kitchen naked, just wearing the buckskin Timberlands. Oh, what a sight that would be. Drinking up the last of the Kool-Aid. Whew. For those of you that were raised by us, or maybe it's a single dad. Do single dads, I don't hear as much about that. Or maybe because there's not as many single dads. Single dads that bring a bunch of women around their kids. But for single moms, though, because I've dated single moms, because in Milwaukee, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. They all got kids. And if they don't have kids, they'll just find some, they'll foster some, they'll adopt some. But what's worse, though, is when they have like pets and they call their pets their kids. If your dog sleeps in bed with you, you're subhuman. Sorry, somebody had to say it. That's disgusting. And if you think your dog is a human being, if you think your dog is a child, your dog is a baby, you got mental illness. We need to stop normalizing that behavior. I see people push dogs around in baby strollers. You're insane. I wish somebody would have did that back in the 80s. We would have literally taken the dog out, because back then there was no political correctness. We'd be like, I'm sorry, ma'am, you can't do this. You look like an idiot. That's a baby carrier. But my dog is my baby. You're mentally ill. Somebody needs to say this too. Stop bringing your damn dogs to work. Stop. Stop it. What? Please stop. Places of business, that's foul. Don't bring your kids to work either. Your kids shouldn't be going to nightclubs. Why would somebody why would you take a place like that seriously? But that's a them thing. We don't do that. Oh, happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. All right, I got to take a break, come back. Who is this calling? Is this Tavares wearing the Timberland boots? Yeah, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with your mom bringing guys home? Do you ever especially if you're a son? I wouldn't like that. And then, sometimes the son will be in the living room playing video games, and then mama's quote-unquote boyfriend comes over, and then the quote-unquote boyfriend or the guy that mom has over is trying to make awkward conversation with the teenage son. Like, hey, little man. Hey, what's going on, dog? What game you playing? Oh, that's so bad. All right, take a break, come back. Got Denise on line one. Ain't no telling what Denise it is. It's not our Denise, is it? No, it's a different Denise.
I'm not sure, but I'm interested to hear about you continuing about this topic. Seems like you're speaking from a lot of experience.
Well, with single mothers, the amount of single mothers that will bring a strange man around their kids is staggering. Sometimes we as men have to say no to that. Oh, well, my son is here. You want to just come over? Hell no, I don't. Because your son may see me this night, I'll come over, he may never see me again, and that makes you look bad. So you gotta, sometimes we as men have to protect the sanctity of children, because there are some women that simply won't. And I'm not talking about all women, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You just met this dude. Now you're bringing him to where you live with your child? Men can be horrible. And maybe I know that because I know a lot of men, and we can be not nice. And if you let this dude come over to your house where you sleep with your children, where you lay your head every single night, have him meet you at the Starbucks. What's wrong with going to the Starbucks? Get a cup of coffee. And then decide after a period of time if you want him to meet your children. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube. How? Every day from 1 to 4. Truth Nation, I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. Hey, how? I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
As the White House threatens to take over state elections, restrict abortion nationwide, and take away our health care, the Wisconsin Supreme Court is the last line of defense for our rights. That's why the Supreme Court election on April 7th is so critical. The ACLU does not endorse or oppose candidates, but wants you to make an informed decision. When it comes to abortion rights, Maria Lazar supported overturning Roe v. Wade and is endorsed by groups that want to ban abortion. Chris Taylor voted against abortion bans and defended abortion rights while working with Planned Parenthood. And on the issue of voting rights in Wisconsin, Maria Lazar defended efforts to rig elections for one political party through extreme gerrymandering of congressional and legislative districts. Chris Taylor opposes rigging the system with extreme partisan gerrymandering. On April 7th, stand up for our rights. Paid for by American Civil Liberties Union, Incorporated.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Feeling lucky? Then roll into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee this March for Lucky Rollers. Every Thursday, we're giving away over $70,000 in prizes. Play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries, and you could roll out with $550 in reward play. Or get lucky and win your share of $16,000 in cash. Lucky Rollers, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. You guys gonna drink the green beers and go out today or whatever? Let's talk to Denise. Hi, Denise. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I have a couple of comments to make. When are parents going to start parenting these children? At 12 o'clock, they should have been wondering where they were at. And if everybody has to have a cell phone at 10, 12 years old, why didn't they call them? Didn't they know where they were going? There are so many things that parents aren't doing these days. So I should say some. Some parents are not doing these days. And you got to step up. You got to be a parent. I mean, you had these kids, be a parent. And I blame it all on the kids and the parents. I mean, the club there's some liability there. There's some responsibility. But you didn't know where your children were going? And then you want to blame somebody else for your children mouthing off to them and doing disruptive things? That's crazy.
I agree, Denise.
So that's all I have to say. Parents got to be parents. It's can't take that away from them. So you have a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right. Same to you. She sounded Irish to me. She sounded very Irish.
Kinda, yeah.
The first law that was broken were underage kids going to a liquor serving establishment. When we drank underage, we knew we were breaking the law. When we snuck into the Bradford Beach Club on North Avenue in Farwell to go shoot pool in the back, we knew that we were breaking the law. When we snuck into a spot called Judges, which was on East North Avenue, we knew that we were breaking the law. When this place called Mikey's, which was on Jefferson Street, had 2 busloads of underage kids from Marquette University get busted at that establishment, they all knew that they were breaking the law. So here's what we used to do in the city of Milwaukee. I don't know if we do this anymore, or maybe it is the discretion of the license committee or of the common council. So this is how bars would deter, or they would make it clear to bar owners and licensed liquor serving establishments: if you have a single underage person in your establishment, we are going to fine you X amount of hundreds of dollars per individual person under the age of 21. Now, with the sophistication of IDs, like back in the day, making a fake ID was really easy. Now you got holograms on them and you got all sorts of sophisticated things that are really tough to duplicate. But back in the day, you can make a fake ID look like a real one. And it was really, really tough, if not impossible, for security to be able to decipher that. And again, if you show an ID that's fake, you're the one breaking the law. You are just acting in a way to deceive an establishment about your age. So we can't put it on the safety and the security and the bouncers of these establishments to be able to be detectives, especially if it's a very crowded night. There's a whole bunch of IDs they got to check. They can't look to see if this number looks like it was affixed to the ID in a fraudulent manner. The people with the fake ID and the people that are drinking underage and getting into these establishments, they are the ones breaking the law. And anything that may take place in that establishment, you've got to put the majority of the onus on the one that broke the law. And we can't use the excuse like, oh, they're kids. Now, let's not blame the parents either, because kids lie to their parents. I lie to my parents plenty. I'd have to weigh the option. If I tell my parents the absolute truth about where I'm going and what I'm doing, because my parents were very easy to predict. If I told them what I really was going to do, is there a slight chance that they may disagree and say no? And if that slight chance existed, meaning it was more than 10%, I would just lie. Now, there were a couple of occasions where I, in fact, lied about where I was, then got in trouble, and I had a whole bunch of splaining to do. But children are going to lie. And also, let's not pretend that parents even really care where their kids are at. A lot of times, especially a fed up, overtired, overworked single parent doesn't want their kids in the house at all. The kids make too much noise. The parent can't get any privacy. You know, the parent wants to be able to live their best life too. They don't want their kids in the house. And if their kids are gone till midnight or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, good, even better. That means, what's his name? Tyrone Tavares, he can stay over even later. That's just how it is nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. And we can look at the lack of discipline on behalf of the parents now filtering down into a younger generation, because just look how they're acting in school. That's where I think our anger should begin, how disrespectful these kids are to adults in school. Like, what they say and how they act to teachers is just, it blows me away. It does. 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Oh, look, Vince texted in the name of the cologne. I better delete that before Dr. Ken and Tori read it. The last thing I need is for every man here at 1017 The Truth to be smelling as delicious as I do. But I don't wear cologne to work. You wear cologne to work, Xavier? I don't wear cologne to work.
You know, I take a shower. You know, I always smell good. Women don't complain. I never wear cologne, though.
All right, then. That's fair enough. That's you are, I don't want to put your business out there. You're not married?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm a man of the ladies, so.
What the hell does that mean? Oh, you got a bunch of girlfriends? You a player?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay. You seem just like a nice guy. You know, just like a gentleman. Like you're not a player, like you don't play the field, like you don't have a whole bunch of girlfriends.
I'm very nice. Ask anyone.
I don't like how you said that. So are you dating anybody? You don't got to answer, because she might be listening. In fact, assume she is. Somebody out there that thinks that they're claimed by you. Oh, well, you get quiet now. You got all sorts. Oh, let me start talking about like Israel and the war.
Yeah,
you got
let's
all
talk
sorts
about Israel and the war.
Oh, you want to talk about? That's all right. If you got a little girlfriend, there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you guys have an understanding and you can be you and she can be her, and you know, you guys hang out when you hang out. You do what you do. You got to have somebody to go to dinner with, go do stuff. You want to go to the park. You got somebody to go to the dog park with. Or whatever.
Female company is very important to the male mind. That's why we have so many crazy incels now.
The right kind of female company, I think, is good for men. And just like with women, the right kind of male company is good for you, because there's a bunch of guys that suck. But they also were probably raised by bad women. Do I got to take a break now? Is it break time? Am I over?
Yeah, it's about that time.
All right. Where am I even going with the show? You know, I'm avoiding talking about the war because
we might as well get into it. You know, I got a lot of things.
Yeah, I know, but we've lost it. We've lost the war. In fact, as black people, you know who our biggest international allies are? Arabs. In fact, they said that, so they don't want to negotiate with America, which means that Iran is not losing the war. Trump, they want to negotiate very badly. No, you do, Trump, and you're trying to go through all these back channels to try and get them to stop blowing up our embassies. We can't afford to continue this asymmetrical war against a country that nobody invades. So we can't afford that. And they said that they're not going to stop until both Israel and the United States are brought to their knees and the war ends on Iran's terms, and rightfully so, because Iran didn't start it. So it should end on Iran's terms, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that they want. Here's what I'm thinking. Can we send, since America absolutely is going to get brought to its knees, I found out about another unintended consequence of this war. Our pharmaceutical drugs, our generic drugs, are what we call petrochemical dependent, because there's a whole bunch of different like chemicals that they put into generic medications that we're on. And if the Straits of Hormuz remain closed and the cost of crude oil and gas goes up, our prescriptions are going to get more expensive, and you already have people that can't afford their prescription medication. So that's yet another unintended consequence of the war. And so they're going to be able to bring America to its knees because we're not going to be able to afford this war anymore, okay? So what if, while Iran is negotiating for what it wants, can Iran also throw in a reparations package for black people? Like they could. No, think about it for a second. And another thing that we want is for black people to get the reparations, or we will keep bombing. Wouldn't that be great if that...
That sounds like a good plan. I haven't heard that anywhere else.
I think that we need to send a delegation. Me, Kyle Wallace. I guess Tori and Dr. Ken could come too, and we'll just go over to Iran, and we'll be the African-American delegation saying, hey, Iran, can you, since you guys are asking for a bunch of stuff from the United States, can you also tell them to give us black people reparations, or you're going to keep bombing? We will consider it. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The legendary Broadway show is back. The Wiz. The Chicago Sun-Times raves. It's an eye-popping, high-intensity revival. The music, the voices, the legend returns. Entertainment Weekly says, run, don't ease on down to this spectacular revival. The Wiz. Playing the Marcus Center, March 24th through 29th. Tickets at marcuscenter.org.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
it is exceptionally difficult for me to root for America because this version of this nation is my least favorite in my lifetime, and I don't believe that this version of what this nation is needs to be victorious in a military campaign. America needs to learn a very valuable lesson that actions and elections both have consequences, and if this means that we lose yet another military campaign, then I think it's a lesson that we've earned. It's too hard to root for this country right now because of what we are doing to people, how we are ignoring working class folk and poor folk, and how a very, very small number of people are literally controlling the entire direction of this country, how the current commander-in-chief has got, let's just say, some pretty serious allegations that have been levied against him that he still doesn't ever want to come clean about, nor will he ever be held responsible for. Should a man of his caliber be considered a hero in a military campaign, a victor? No. Now, I think the people in the United States of America are going to be just fine. I think that this administration needs to be held accountable, and the Democrats could not do it. Not enough people in this country wanted him to be held accountable. Maybe another nation has to do it because we can't. Maybe this is the blessing that we needed. Maybe Iran was sent to do what the other political parties could not and what voters simply could not. America needs to be brought down. Now, here's the unfortunate thing. We're going to have to weather through this, but we're going to weather through it together because even though a whole bunch of us did not vote for him and did not vote for this, we're all going to suffer together. But let it be a lesson. And I can ask any random Donald Trump supporter, what have you gotten out of this? Where have you benefited? Are your groceries cheaper? Is your health insurance more affordable? Has life been made easier? And if the answer to that is no, then even though I think I know what they're getting out of it, it probably isn't worth it. They got lied to, and it's hard to admit that you got lied to. But maybe this is exactly what we need, because we are losing this war. We don't really win wars anymore. We literally just came out of the Middle East during the Biden administration. Just came out after 20 years of a zero-sum game. Americans don't have the appetite for war, really after World War II, because you have nations that have generations of people that are willing to die for their country. Like they are born into countries and into nations that they will fight for and defend until their death. Not here in America. If our gas prices go up to $5 a gallon and we approach 300 or 400 American servicemen and women dead, Americans have totally lost their appetite for any kind of foreign war. We are dealing with a nation that if they lose 1 million people, they're still going to fight. We can't compete with that. Let America invoke the draft, and you will see a rebellion that might rival that of the Civil War. We do not have the appetite for long, drawn-out military campaigns in which there are no clear objectives. So even if we win the war with Iran, which we won't, like it is like physically impossible for us to win. You can't send ground troops in a nation that's surrounded by mountains. So you send the troops in, okay? You send them, you got to airdrop them in. How you going to get them out? How are you going to give them supplies? How are you going to give them everything where's the supply chain coming from? Every American military base in the Middle East is basically destroyed. Our missile defense systems, Israel's Iron Dome, doesn't exist anymore. So we're going to send American troops in to a nation that has been planning for this war, some say for 40 years, some say for 20 years, certainly for the last 10. They've been waiting for us. So we send in American troops, drop them in, can't ever get them out. Those troops will be sent to die, to never return home because we have no supply chain. Europe is thumbing its nose at us. NATO is not coming to help us. And how ironic is this? Remember when Donald Trump was going after NATO and America's going to leave NATO and all these other countries, you got to pay more money. Now Donald Trump is asking for NATO to help, and they are turning their noses up at us. And this is exactly what we get. This is what we get. We earn this. You can't disrespect the entire world and then put tariffs on every single nation on the planet and expect those nations whose goods are now more expensive because of the immature tantrums of one man, you expect those countries to use their country's tax dollars to defend America in a war that we got dragged into. I got a clip, I ain't gonna play it for y'all because whatever, go find it on your own, of Benjamin Netanyahu like every 6 months for the last 30 years saying, you know, Iran is a couple of weeks away from a nuclear weapon. The first clip I have is from 1996. Well, we got to get Iran because they're going to get a nuclear weapon. Why shouldn't they have one? We got one. Shouldn't a nation be able to defend itself? Shouldn't the people of Iran be able to fend off threats? We do. We're not better than them, are we? I got bad news, though, guys. And I've been sitting on this news because I don't like to give good people bad news because it breaks my heart. But I think it's time that this is a tough one. No, this is going to break a lot of hearts. And I wish that I could come here every single day and tell you guys wonderful things and make you very happy and very optimistic. Well, we had a little bit of that earlier in the show. Alan sang an Irish song, and there was even a lady in the YouTube chat that thanked me for allowing Alan to sing the Irish song that he sang, because it's St. Patrick's Day, and, you know, everybody's Irish today. I wish I had good news for you guys. And no, it ain't got nothing to do with the war. I would argue to some people it's a lot worse than the unwinnable war that we find ourselves in. It's really, it's sad. So I'm going to give you the headline. I'm going to take a break because I want you guys to digest it. And then we're going to talk about it on the other side, but please brace yourselves. Popeye's closures are ticking up after the largest franchise of Popeye's restaurants filed for bankruptcy. I know. Shh. No, it's okay to cry. It's okay. Remember how crazy you went over the Popeye's chicken sandwich? Remember that? Remember the delicious flakiness of those buttery biscuits and the crispy, spicy, delicious flavor of that Popeye's chicken? It might be a thing of the past. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on a very, very sad day for 101.7. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
Another function of white supremacy, don't teach black people stuff, because if you give us a little bit of knowledge, we'll invent something totally new. That's why it was illegal to teach slaves to read, because if we could read, then we could write. And if we could write, we could communicate. And if we could communicate, we could plan. And if we could plan, we could strategize. And if we can plan and write and read and communicate and strategize, we could overthrow white supremacy, because they've always known how fragile it is.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you're so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT. You want to mark your calendar. Saturday, March 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Cream City and Milwaukee chapters of the Links Incorporated present the Black Family Wellness Expo at Evolve Church. Free health screenings, mental health resources, nutrition and wellness education, family-friendly activities, trusted community providers, no cost, walk-ins are welcome. Let's strengthen and sustain healthy Black families together. March 28th, Evolve Church. Be there.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Several additional Popeyes locations in the Southeast are shutting down as a major franchisee works through bankruptcy. Court records obtained by USA Today show that the Florida-based Sailor Man Incorporated, which operates more than 130 Popeyes restaurants, said on March 10th it plans to close additional Popeyes locations throughout the South, including in the state of Georgia. The closures come about 2 months after the franchise said it would be closing 17 additional locations nationwide. Sailor Man Incorporated filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in January, citing reduced foot traffic and high inflation as the drivers of its decision. Ladies and gentlemen, we might be losing a beloved staple. Popeye's chicken. You know, I used to frequent one particular Popeye's establishment. In fact, it was the first one that opened up in the city of Milwaukee. You know, Popeye's wasn't here until the very late 80s, early 1990s. We just had KFC or chicken that your mama made. We didn't really have a lot of fried chicken fast food restaurants. And I often talked about the proprietor, a guy by the name of John Broderson, who didn't even let his children eat Popeye's chicken because it was too unhealthy. The same John Broderson that owned all of the Popeye's franchises in Milwaukee, Wayne County, which is Detroit, and on the entire island of Puerto Rico. Here's something that we didn't know. Puerto Ricans love fried chicken too. Who knew? Maybe it's the black in them. Because you know how I feel about the Puerto Ricans. They're essentially just black people that speak Spanish and can swim. That's all a Puerto Rican is to me. Like, the Puerto Ricans are our brothers and our sisters. Yeah, John Broderson was probably one of, at a period of time, he was one of the wealthiest franchise owners in the entire country, and he was right here, locally. But the Popeyes that I used to go to, talk about nostalgic memories, because I would be done, well, my hours, I've been doing radio from 9 until noon since, 13 years, 20, what year is it, 2026? So it's probably 2013. Because I used to be 7 to 9, then 8 to 10, then we settled on 9 to noon. So when I'm done with work, it's lunchtime. And WNOV, as you all know, where I worked for many years, is on Capitol Drive. And so as I'm heading home, I feel like lunch. Because, you know, when you're off work at lunchtime, if the shoe fits, you know what I mean? And the memories that I have going to that Popeye's chicken, the original location, you would think that the original location would be the best, have the best food, the best service, because they have the most experience, because that one has been in operation, if I'm not mistaken, since 1989. That's a long time. Xavier, were you even born yet in 1989?
Nope.
You missed a great part of American history being born as late as you were. But I remember the fond memories of going to that drive-through, and then right when you pull up, because they're not going to acknowledge you right away, They're black. They're very busy. There's black people working there. They've got a lot of stuff they got to do. Just relax. Get comfortable. In fact, put the vehicle in park. You're not going to go anywhere for a while. But it's fine because it's Popeye's chicken. And then you're waiting at the intercom. And then every now and again, what do? When you're waiting too long, you, hello? And then you might hear a little bit of static from the intercom. We'll be right with you in a second. Okay. Don't yell back at them. If you anger a person that is responsible for handling your food, you will regret it. Whether you know you're going to regret it or not is another thing, but please do not be very demure, be very sweet and accommodating to the person that is handling your food. Please let this be a lesson to you, especially if y'all go out to some of these downtown restaurants and act a fool and you're disrespectful to your server. You just be nice is all I got to say. So after waiting for, I don't know, what feels like a full episode of the show Three's Company at the intercom, they ask you for your order. And you proceed to order because in the amount of time you've been sitting through this drive-through, you've had a lot of time to think about your order. In fact, you are constructing a custom order in your head. Do I want a 2-piece or a 3-piece? Do I want mild? Do I want spicy? Do I want a mix? Do I want one of those lemonades? Should I get dessert? Should I get some red beans and rice? Should I ask for an extra biscuit? You're thinking about what your order is going to be, and as time goes on, you're getting even hungrier. And then you place your order. We don't got none of that. Oh. Okay. Well, can I have a 2? We don't got no 2s. What do you mean? We only got 5-piece. Yeah, but if you have a 5-piece, can you just reduce it? But no. Okay, can I get a breast and a leg? We don't got no breasts. All right. Can I have a wing and a thigh? We only got one thigh. And you got to split it with me. And then that's fine because it's Popeye's chicken and it's delicious. I'm going to miss them. And then you get up to the window. Those of you that have been to this particular Popeyes, have you ever seen a contraption like this in your entire life? It is a rolling metal barrel. You put your money or your credit card underneath this little spring-loaded cup and they roll the metal barrel and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're ever going to get your card back, if you're ever going to get your money back. You don't even know if you're going to get your chicken. In fact, that Popeyes on 28th and Capitol, you know the ones that I'm talking about, the one that's the original location opened up in 1989. You guys remember when it first opened? Yay, Popeyes. They will mess your order up so bad that you can go to the Popeyes over there on 28th and Capitol, you know, the original location, and you can give them your money, you can give them your card, and they turn around that big metal barrel. It is the most bulletproof, bomb-proof. If there's going to be a nuclear war, I'm going to Popeyes. Because if they have experience in one thing, it may not be customer service, but it's in defending from an armed attack. But they'll mess your order up so bad. You put your money in, they'll say, it's $13.95, and they're very angry. They had a long day. They're making fried chicken all day, and they're serving black people. You'd be angry, too. And then when they finally turn that gigantic rotating metal barrel around, it's Burger King. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Go back to the drive-thru line again? You better take that Burger King. You better take that double Whopper with cheese and some onion rings and zesty onion ring sauce and have a good day. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for Hour 3.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located, and one thing you've learned along the way. What the Business is powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
Been listening to you guys for probably a month. It's some change now, and this is one of my favorite radio shows, and I'm 24. So, like, I used to think talk shows was like an old head thing, and y'all got me hooked.
Welcome to Truth Nation. We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work, the groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I wasn't here yesterday. I know. Some of you were a little disappointed, and you probably were thinking like, oh, can't wait till Sherwin comes back on Tuesday when he's live again, and you met us here on YouTube or streaming on 1017 The Truth, and you were so excited for today's show, and you came back to this. I don't even know what's happening on today's show. We started the program talking about an incident that took place at Prime Social. Is that it? Prime. I get them mixed up. Prime Social, Truth Social. Where a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old were admitted entry some kind of way. We think through either an inflated cover charge or they were guests of someone who was throwing a party there. The name of the individual throwing the party, we don't know. But there was an altercation with security, and both the 16 and 17-year-old in an establishment that is for 21 and up were injured in an altercation with security. And this took place essentially after hours, after 2 a.m. And we were wondering, where does the responsibility lie? If you own a liquor serving establishment where by law, every individual inside that establishment has to be 21 years or older, I don't know if you win the argument of your children not being protected because kids are not supposed to be in there in the first place. And so I think what I tried to illustrate with that conversation, because it was very relatable, because I used to underage drink, and I knew that I was breaking the law. If we went and got 40s and went to Brown Deer Park, we knew that we would get in trouble. And we're not going to say, well, the liquor store shouldn't have sold it to us. Well, they did, and we purchased them, and now we're out in public drinking. And I got an underage drinking ticket before, too. It's very expensive 30-something years ago. Hell, I've been 21 I've been 21 for 30 years. That's disrespectful. But the 16 and the 17-year-old, they initiated by breaking the law. It's like if you're speeding. We just don't take responsibility for things that hold us accountable. Like, it's the establishment's fault. First of all, the kids shouldn't have been there. They were the ones, when they stepped into the establishment, they broke the law. They initiated the law breaking. And so what happens to them after that is terribly unfortunate, but they were in a place that they legally were not supposed to be. And I think if they were consuming alcohol, I know alcohol is not mentioned in any of the articles, they should be getting underage drinking tickets. They should. This should be a teachable lesson. Don't go places where children are not supposed to be. And then so is it the parents' fault? Are the parents supposed to know where the kids are at? Y'all got to understand, a lot of these parents don't want their kids at home. They're sick of them. They're tired of them. They don't like them. Have you all ever really witnessed, this is something we don't talk about nearly enough, how some parents, especially fed up, sick and tired, overworked, overstressed mamas talk to their kids? Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever even seen how some of these mamas talk to their 2-year-olds? I could understand why the kids wouldn't want to be at home and why the mamas wouldn't want them there. And so do we hold the parents responsible? You can try. But the kids were the ones that broke the law. If the speed limit is 35, just like a drinking age, it's a set number. You can't be under 21. And the only exception is, that also is an exception of irresponsibility. And I don't like when I see it, but it's also culturally foreign to me as an African American. In the state of Wisconsin, if you are accompanied by, the law is so weird. It's almost pedophilic. So if you are with a parent, you can be any age in a bar. And I think you can drink. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all got Google. I don't feel like typing. But I think that if you are with a parent, you can drink in a bar at like 12. But here's the other thing. If you're married and your spouse is under 21, you can not only can you legally bring your under 21, your spouse can be 17. You can bring them to a bar and they can drink legally because their spouse is of age. Why would we even have that law when you think about it? Oh, yeah, you can totally bring your child bride to the bar and get them drunk enough to where they can no longer consent. That's pretty problematic. But I grew up with white kids who would routinely hang out at bars with their parents. And so, you know me, black kid growing up in Brown Deer, I would see all these things that the whites do. I'd want to bring this to my parents. Eugene, Emma, please gather around. I have questions. How come I can't go to the bar with you? It's so ridiculous. And so we were trying to assign some kind of responsibility to some party. Is it the establishment? Is it the bar? And I also gave another example. It was really relatable to me because I have also thrown parties and thrown birthday parties in bars. I could even use the example of when we did our Beyond the Mics. None of y'all got your IDs checked. You didn't. And if one of y'all would have brought your 16 or 17-year-old, or if a 16 or a 17-year-old, because we used to advertise Beyond the Mic, which was stupid, just on the air, where anybody can listen. That's not smart. When you think about it, with hindsight being 2020, as dangerous and unpredictable as this world is, to just advertise a social event, hey, everybody in the world, we're going to be at this bar at this location from this time until this time. In the grand scheme of things, probably not all that smart. But we advertised it to everybody, and I don't think any of you all, in fact, some of the establishments that we went to had no security whatsoever. Our first Beyond the Mic, we went to Gibraltar, there was just a bartender, nobody else. I love Gibraltar, and I had a really good time when I first Beyond the Mic, but it was a complete and utter disaster. You all didn't see it as a disaster. I did. The bartender didn't know what he was doing. We had no music. It was hot as bejesus. There was no air conditioning, but y'all was just having a good old time, drinking like a fish, too. But no one checked any IDs. When I rented the establishment that I did for my birthday, I told them, because I met with management, because I paid a lot of money, because I bought the alcohol ahead of time. And so when the alcohol that I purchased ran out, then people were on their own. I'm pretty sure it didn't run out because I bought a ton of vodka. My friends can drink. It's nothing to be proud of. It's intimidating, actually. But I said to management and also to the security staff, because I had to work with them on, where we were going to be situated and how we were going to handle my arriving guests. I said, leave my guests alone. If they say that they are here for me and for my party, you let them right in and you direct them to our section. Their IDs weren't checked. And I think that if you rent and reserve space at an establishment and you're paying for that place's establishment. Now, obviously, they have rules and they have laws that they got to follow, but they can suspend a lot of the rules when you have somebody that is paying. If I am paying X amount of dollars to occupy these booths in this space in your establishment, they're not going to hassle my customers. But also, I told them that I'm responsible for my people because I knew who was coming. And I know that my friends don't act a fool. I got a couple that do, but I warn them. I'll be like, hey, don't act a fool, because I will personally kick you out. If I'm reserving space at a bar at a nightclub and I'm inviting my friends, my family, and my people, I'm going to take responsibility for their behavior. I don't even want to put that on the bouncers because these are my people. I invited them. And if they're acting up, I will gladly kick them out. I don't have a problem kicking anybody out of anywhere. In fact, I'd rather enjoy it. Sorry, you got to go. You can't be here no more. You acting a fool. You're embarrassing yourself and everybody else. I'll call you an Uber because I ain't that way now. I'm not cold-blooded. In fact, I have a whole account for just to help people get home, just to get them the hell out of the establishment. But we don't know the details of, who threw the party and what security was told. But I do know this. If children are in an establishment where children should not be, we cannot guarantee the safety of those children. We can't, because you can't have an establishment that is ready to do work and put in work on drunk adults, then also have to, oh no, there's a 16-year-old in here. Be extra careful with them. No, you treat a 16-year-old like you treat somebody that's grown, because a 16-year-old wasn't supposed to be there. No way. I also can say things like, we have this situation in the city of Milwaukee with human trafficking, or at least we used to, and having your 16, because the girl was 16, having a 16-year-old girl out there in the streets where people are drinking and probably flashing money and smoking weed, not a good look. It is not. I can remember a time where such a story, if it made the newspaper, where a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old were caught in an establishment and they got roughed up a little bit by security. I can remember a time where the mamas and the parents of those kids would be so embarrassed they wouldn't want it in the news. And now not only are these mamas in the news, they're saying, yeah, the club is responsible because of what you did to my baby. We have taken such a drastic turn. I also got to be very careful when I speak truth about African American behavior, because what it does is it gives white people more justification to treat us disrespectfully. And I certainly don't want to do that. But they're doing it anyway. There was an article that I read. So I'm keeping my finger on the pulse of a couple things. The unintended consequences of the Trump administration essentially eliminating anything related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they're going really, really, really super far. And you know who has been hurt disproportionately? And so I've been monitoring this. It's African American women. And black women, for reasons better or worse, are the backbone, because we're a matriarchal society. Whites and Europeans are patriarchal. We're matriarchal. Our families have been led by women since Africa. And we have had queens as long as we have had kings. Whereas in Africa, our female leadership has always been much more revered and much more respected. than in Europe. It was usually always the men and the male kings that led, because they're more of a patriarchal society. So we differ from them in that regard and a whole bunch of other regards. So disproportionately, African American women have been hurt with the reduction and the elimination of DEI policies, because first it starts with the government, then it goes into the private sector. 900,000 black women have since been laid off since Donald Trump signed this flurry of executive orders banning and eliminating, reducing DEI, everything from grants to colleges and universities to research, federal investments on cancer, because it was found that when we, as a federal government, when we invest federal tax dollars in cancer research, African Americans benefit more from that cancer research. It extends our lives longer, and our cancer is caught more quickly, and our treatment can start more effectively because of the investments the federal government has made, because of all the years of neglect of ignoring black people that have been diagnosed with cancer. So Trump took that out too, because anywhere black people can benefit. And so here's what we've come to find out. It's roughly 38,000 black women are losing their jobs every single month. 1 million black women have gone unemployed, and it's lifted the African-American woman unemployment rate by 2%, and we're only in the second year of the Trump administration. That's going to get worse. And then I see this article here, because I'm following these things, because when I look at federal policy, I have to see how it's going to impact us right here at home in the city of Milwaukee. And I do not believe that we are in a place in this city where black women can be losing their jobs and for this city to be okay. And so I came across this article that it rings true. Companies are not hiring black women, and they're firing. I want you to think about a company you may be familiar with, and think about however long you've worked there. Think about how many black women have come and gone, as opposed to other races and genders of people. Just think this for a second. Just whatever company you may be familiar with, how many black women were there compared to how many there are now. Companies are not hiring black women. Now, remember, they're being let go and they're being fired. Anything that can be related to DEI in the federal government, and also African-American women were overrepresented in the ranks of the federal government. Black people in general are overrepresented in federal employment. There was a period of time where my mother, my father, and I were all federal employees, and that's not some random occurrence. The federal government in 1961, an executive order signed by John F. Kennedy, created affirmative action that said basically if black people are paying federal income taxes, they should have access to not just contracting opportunities, but federal employment everywhere. So the federal government was the first, long before the private sector was considering hiring black folks, because that was back when you still had employment discrimination. Kennedy said, look, we're going to hire black folks because they are members of this society, they are citizens, and they pay taxes. They will get jobs in the federal government. And they over-indexed African-American employees higher than our population in the country, which is fantastic, because federal jobs, on average, these black women that have been evaporated from the federal government average $106,000 a year. So billions of dollars of African-American income has been evaporated just from Donald Trump's executive orders. And now the private sector is following suit. A social media commentator says some companies are reducing the number of black women in their workforce due to concerns about discrimination complaints. So now they're not hiring and they are firing black women because y'all may complain about discrimination, and so they're firing you before you can do that. I'm going to take a break, come back, have a little conversation about this. But I want you to think about a business or a company that you may be familiar with where there were black women, or a plethora of black women, or black women's voices were well represented at this company, and however many years ago that was. Now think about how few black women are there now. How many black women you've seen come and go in a very, very short period of time, particularly since Donald Trump was reelected in 2024. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It starts with a spark. At Milwaukee College Prep, they nurture that spark from age 3 through 8th grade, building scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of their students face economic hardship, but that does not define them. At MCP, they see students' potential, and they help them live up to that potential. 4 campuses, 1 mission, college and beyond. MCP is free, high-performing, and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/Versity on King to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Three 212-1017 is our telephone number. Black women are getting fired before they can file discrimination lawsuits, which is discrimination, but it's subtle. Sometimes, you can come in 10 or 15 minutes late. Don't nobody say nothing because everybody does it. Or maybe you came back 5-6 minutes late from lunch. Whatever. Nobody's really watching the clock like that. But if they think that you are some kind of a liability, if you may have grounds to sue because you are, in fact, treated unfairly, you're being kept out of meetings, information isn't shared with you. If they know they are discriminating against you, it's just a matter of time before the employee catches on. And the thing about black people working in corporate America, you have to have a sixth sense. You got to be able to, you have to be able to tell. You're always under threat. You're always either intimidating or you may threaten the culture of an establishment. And a lot of businesses, and I'm not sure if, I want to be angry at establishments, but I get it. Because you don't want to be so aiming toward diversity to where you change and shift the culture of your establishment. Because, if you get too many of us in the workplace, then the white women going to start getting cornrows. You know what I mean? And then the white girl's going to start dating the black male employees. And you can't have that. You can have a cultural shift. If you hire too many of us, your workplace will look different. I would argue it would be much more productive. It'd be much more in tune with the changing demographics of this country. But some established Caucasian companies, they don't want that cultural shift. We've always done it this way, and this is how it's always going to be. We don't want too many others here because they're going to infect our culture. Trump even mentioned something about the impure blood of these immigrants and these migrants. Some companies feel the exact same way. They don't want too much diversity there because it may actually change the perception of that company. Let's talk to Al. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I want to say happy Tuesday. All this is coming from white man's little penis energy. Y'all have all this smoke for black women, and your white women still do not want you inside their vessel, and they still don't want to breed your white-ass babies. Remember, you're not good enough. The white women that you're supposed to partake don't even want you in that vessel. They want that big, long tree trunk because you hump like jackrabbits. All this stuff you started, that ain't got you no more babies, because your white woman is going to get an abortion because you're not good enough. That's why your daughters is running to black men, because you strip and rob them of diversity and wisdom, because you wasn't raised with any, because you're not good enough. And you same racists who got something against black women are the same one just trying to F black women, because your own women don't want you because you're not good enough. So in closing, you can try whatever you want. And even when you get ready to rock and be protein maggots, you're still not good enough. And I have to say this to our men. Y'all got to get up on your hygiene, and you got to start cleaning your nuts. Because a lot of women is getting mad because they're getting these voodoo spells going up their nose. And also, you have a little piece of skin down there, educational purposes, between your scrotum and your rectum. If you cannot clean it enough, shade it. Because you have to be more kind to women needs. I would like to share that information. And remember to you racist white men, you're not good enough. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Al, for calling in with that very uplifting and inspirational St. Patrick's Day message. I think he's referring to the taint. It's the nether regions down there. That's down south. We used to call it an alley crack. Because it's the alley.
That makes sense.
I can't believe this. This is what you guys listen to? You guys listen to this show, hey? God bless all of you. Okay, well, you got to shave the taint, hey? I don't.
Yeah, you got to be smelling good down there, nice and fresh.
Hold on. That's a razor. You can't make a mistake down there. You know what I mean? You can't, if you mess around and hit an artery down there, that's trouble.
That's why you put the guard on there. You got yourself a Manscaped.
Hold on, relax over there. Okay, all this is not necessary to discuss. Some things are better left in private. This takes the show in a direction. We're supposed to be talking about policy. Oh, boy, shaving the gooch, huh? That's what we're doing? Popeyes is closing. The world is clearly going to hell in a handbasket. We're in a war we can't win. Oh, let's check the YouTube poll. And I wasn't trying to invoke people's sentiments about Israel. I don't know why we love Israel so much anyway. Like I feel about Israel like Israel feels about me. I feel about Israel like I feel about France. Like I feel about the Netherlands. I don't care. Why am I supposed to care? I live in the city of Milwaukee where I need to be concerned about what's going on here. But I don't know what is Israel? Israel has never given me a birthday card. And I've had 51 birthdays. Never once did I ever get a little birthday card, a little Star David on it. Hello, Sherwin, from Israel. We love you. I've never received a box of chocolates from Israel. That would change everything. Like I'd come into work like, guys, Israel's really nice. You give me a gift that changes everything. All right, so the poll with 95 votes, we asked a question via YouTube. If you haven't done so already, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth. Hit subscribe. You also can search The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. That might be a more direct route. Hit subscribe, and you'll be able to stream the program, participate in the live chat, and also vote in the poll. With 95 votes, the question is, should the U.S. defend Israel? Because that is exactly what we are doing right now in this asymmetrical war that essentially we started. Oh, by the way, we killed 170 children. The United States did. You know that Donald Trump had the nerve to get on camera and say Iran stole one of our missiles and bombed its own school with one of our missiles. So first of all, the launchers for Tomahawk missiles were either on other Middle Eastern bases or like on submarines, neither of which Iran had access to. He's so stupid, but he's also a reflection of the people in this damn country. Get a good look at this, America. So when I talk about illiteracy and low performance on test scores, when you have that over many generations, you get somebody like Donald Trump because he is just as dumb as some of his voters. Yeah, I said it. I'm not defending none of y'all. You have screwed this whole country up because you're stupid. Somebody needs to tell you that you're stupid. I'm telling you that I know you don't want to hear it from me, but I'm telling you because I care about you. You're an idiot, and you shouldn't vote. I wish I could stop them from voting. I wish I could make them take a literacy test or put a poll tax on them. I shouldn't say that because that's what they did to black people. But now, poor, destitute, ignorant whites, they're the N-words now. Like you all now are the N-words you guys tried to make us be 100 years ago. It's so ironic how it all works. Trump is the biggest N-word I've ever seen. Look how many baby mamas he has. Can't keep his wee-wee in his pants, got kids all over the place. Screwing porn stars, getting caught. With 95 votes, should the U.S. defend Israel? 17% say yes, 83% say no. So there you go. That's all you got. And I know you want to say something, Xavier. I know you got some. You trying to stoke the fire. Don't get me in trouble.
I'll keep it. I'll keep it clean. I'm not gonna say too much, but I mean, you gotta think 80% of our politicians are given directly money from Israel.
It's more than 80, ain't it?
A whole cohort of Christian evangelicals that are Trump's top supporting base that believes that creating Israel, the greater Israel that's happening right now, will bring back Jesus and bring back the end of the earth. I mean,
I don't know if they believe that. It's a white colony in the middle of brown land. That's because the Israelis are European.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, let's take a commercial break. For y'all get me in trouble. I'm just over here trying to spread the love of facts and the truth. Trump supporters are dumb. Oh yeah, well you're dumb too. Trump is the best thing ever. I'm gonna buy a hat. I love Barack Obama, but did you ever catch me wearing a Barack Obama hat? Malele Cogs did bring me back a Barack Obama, because they had a bunch of like gifts and souvenirs at the inauguration. So Malele Cogs, when she went to the inauguration, she brought me back a chocolate bar. like a Barack Obama. It's got the fancy wrapper on it. I still have it, actually.
No Hope T-shirt for you?
No, I'm not. If Barack Obama, go to my website, BarackObama.com, get you a hat, T-shirt, a koozie for your beer. I wouldn't buy that stuff. How dumb can you be? All right, let me take a break. They're going to get mad at me. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The baked potato just became the main event. At Loaded Spud, we take comfort food and turn it into something bold. Fresh baked potatoes piled high with creative toppings like buffalo chicken, steak and cheese, and classic loaded favorites, all made fresh and built to satisfy. Big flavor, generous portions, no shortcuts. It's fast, affordable, and proudly local. Loaded Spud, Milwaukee's most unexpected comfort food. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at www.letsgetloaded.online.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
A message from Tia Mori, actress and Fair Celebrity Ambassador.
Game day isn't staged. It's lived. It's the shopping, the cooking, the laughter. For families managing food allergy, that same spirit of preparation means everything. Because food allergy isn't a lifestyle. It's a serious, life-threatening disease that can change everything in a moment. But being ready changes the story. It's knowing the signs, having a plan, and carrying epinephrine everywhere life takes you. Epinephrine is the only treatment that can stop a severe food allergy reaction known as anaphylaxis. It works quickly to reverse the symptoms and can save lives. As families and friends gather for the big game, we see what community looks like. It's one built on awareness, care, and love in action. Because readiness doesn't take away the risk. It brings back the joy. When you're ready to act, you're ready to live.
Visit foodallergy.org/ready to act to learn more.
Thank you, Milwaukee. Because of you, the second annual Truth Community Awards was an unforgettable celebration of the leaders, changemakers, and heroes who make our city shine. A special thank you to our incredible partners, Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousins Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. And thank you to our presenting sponsor, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Together, we're celebrating community, culture, and impact. We'll see you next year at the Truth Community Awards. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
A social media commentator says some companies may be reducing the number of black women in their workforce due to concerns about discrimination complaints, sparking debate online about workplace equity and hiring practices. The claims were made in a viral video posted on Instagram by commentator Big Bad Doll, who suggested that many black women are facing layoffs or difficulty finding jobs because companies want to avoid potential racism and discrimination cases and accusations. Quote, the reason why there's over 500,000 black women getting laid off and having a hard time finding a job is because these companies no longer want to deal with racism and discrimination cases. The speaker said she previously worked in HR for more than 10 years and claimed that she lost her job after reviewing company payroll data that allegedly revealed pay disparities between black and white employees. Quote, I took a look at our budget report and saw the pay differential between our black and white employees, she said, adding that she raised concerns internally before she was fired. You got to be careful with that, ladies and gentlemen. I know that a lot of you want to be a good employee, and you may see things that are inefficient or unfair. And I know that when you spot those things in the workplace, what a good employee would do is you would say, hey, I found something that maybe you all should take a look at. Talking to other people in management or leadership or people in the C-suites. Sometimes that will get you fired. And if you are black, you have to know that you are walking a very, very fine line. And it's a tough situation because you may have an issue that is worthy of sharing company-wide or at least sharing with management. But in some cases, management is the one that is creating those very inconsistencies and those systems of unfairness. So when you bring it up to them, then they feel exposed, right? Uh-oh, they caught us. Then you excise the cancer, the person that found it. Because everybody can get fired. I flirt with it every day. Every day I'm like, oh, this is going to be my last day. Because there's always liberties and leeways. Leeway that we sometimes take when you work in a company for a long time. I sometimes maybe take a few too many. But the other times it's not my fault. Sometimes it's you guys' fault because you guys call and do all sorts of stuff. We heard about everything from shaving a taint to somebody singing an Irish lullaby all on the same show.
That's great radio.
Is it, though? Is it?
In 2026, yes.
I used to know what made great radio, but the world has changed so much. I don't even know. Like, what do y'all even want to hear about anymore? I know what trends I didn't even know Instagram had this feature. I don't know where it came from. So I've got a couple of Instagram accounts. I got one that's personal, like a Sherwin Instagram account. And then I have one that's more public where we may post clips of this show or whatever. And there's a button or something, a link or something I was able to click on. It says, do you want to see your algorithm? I was like, hell yeah, I do. I didn't like what it showed. It was very honest, but I did not like it. And then I appreciate Instagram for doing this because it enabled me to turn off certain topics that it showed as a part of my algorithm. You know what? I was thinking about something because I think a lot. We have a pretty significant problem with math and math scores. Our young people are not doing very well in math, and it shows because a lot of adults don't do math very well either. And if you don't know math, then how do you know weights and measures, and how do you calculate your dividends and your investment returns? How do you put your money away? Like, you got to know numbers really, really well, if not better than you know words. We are oftentimes fed our information by social media. It's all numbers. Our algorithm, it literally is a number. And so what I think we struggle with is finding a way to teach young people, children, math in practical terms. And if we can teach them math and show them algebra and trigonometry and fractions and decimals and polynomials and exponents, if we can show them in terms of the algorithms that feed us our information, I think that we can make a much better connection. Because the thing about math, I know I used to ask this question when I was in school, why am I ever going to need this? And that's a legitimate question for a child to ask. But when a teacher, an instructor hears, why am I ever going to need this? Then they are not making that curriculum relatable to that child, because every child, when they take a math class, should say, I'm glad that I'm learning this because I'm going to need this. Maybe if we could break down what an algorithm actually is, because it's numbers fancy numbers and some weird and random combination of how many videos exist with this hashtag and how many people are going to see these videos. All of that stuff is mathematical. And if we could break down what children are using every single day and say, hey, you know what? There's math behind that. There's binary code behind that, and start teaching them math from a perspective and things that they already know, use, and understand, hell, we might be getting somewhere. Take a break, come back. We'll talk to the town on the other side. See what he's got to say. According to the commentator, discussions with other HR professionals suggested that similar experiences exist across multiple companies. She claimed that some businesses labeled employees who filed discrimination complaints as, quote, company nuisances, which she said could lead to closer scrutiny of their performance and eventually their termination. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
I got money now.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Every child deserves a school that sees their brilliance. At Milwaukee College Prep, they believe in high expectations, strong character, and academic excellence starting as early as age of 3. MCP scholars continue to outperform their peers across Milwaukee. And the best part about it all, Milwaukee College Prep is tuition free. If you're looking for a school that partners with you, challenges your child, and prepares them for college and beyond, Milwaukee College Prep is the place. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to learn more. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I told you we should ride with the windows open. How you gon' roll if you scared of Doja? Kept you on the side, tried to keep it kosher. Play on, play on.
Let's talk to the town. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
How you doing?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
I want to ask you a somewhat personal question.
Oh, all right.
Like, do you are you you kick it or you mess with any Jewish people?
Yo, yes, I got friends of the Jewish faith.
Okay, all right. So when all this stuff is happening, and like it seems like that, you know what I'm saying, that the Israel people are, you know what I'm saying, like they're the bad guys in this situation. When you talk to them, like how do they react to it? What's they take from it? Like the Jewish people in America around Milwaukee, what do they be saying?
My Jewish friends aren't Zionists. There's a real big difference. That's like somebody from another country can be like, oh, do you know Americans? And they'll say, oh, yeah, I got American friends. Every American is not a Trump lover, right? So that foreign person might be like, oh, I hate Trump. Every Jewish person is not a Zionist, just like every American is not a Trump supporter. You see what I mean? There's a difference. So my Jewish friends don't like what's happening. Not every Jewish person supports bombing Palestine and going to war with Iran. They're not a monolith, just like black folks aren't a monolith either. That makes sense to you?
Okay, I feel. No, of course it makes sense. It's a simple question I asked you. Now, but the problem that I have with that is though that we're not hearing their voices loud enough when we know that they control the media or they have friends in high places, they work together, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Maybe if they you know what I'm saying, if they try harder to be like, hey, this stuff is not good. We're not down with this. You know what I'm saying? Then other people probably wouldn't feel the way they feel, because the people that feel the way they feel is from the media, because they consume what they hear off the media, social media, whatnot. Now we know that the Jewish people, they're big in that area. You know, like how you talk about blacks. We don't control no one particular sector.
The town.
Well, we know
all Jewish people don't have the kind of influence that you think that they have, because I know, and there are plenty of Jewish people, anti-Zionist Jewish people, brother, they can't make a phone call and be like, hey, stop all this stuff. They don't work like that. Just like black folks can't call other black folks and tell us to stop killing. It don't work that way. They can be concerned and upset about it, just like we as black folks are concerned and upset about things, but there's no hotline that they can call. Just because you're Jewish doesn't mean that you have control over Israel or over Zionists. That's like saying, oh, the Democrats can just have control over the Republicans. Non-Zionist Jewish people have zero control over Zionist Jewish people. So I think that's unfair for us to say that they need to make a phone call or be more active.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what they can control is they can control their volume. They can control how much they speak out. They can control their voice.
Oh, they do.
So why don't they? So maybe because since a lot of them are in the media and Jewish people are in a lot of media spaces. I mean, I don't know. What's wrong with saying that?
We got to make a distinction, because most Jewish people are not in the media at all. They just have their lawyers or their doctors or their engineers. Some of them work construction. I've even met a Jewish stripper before. No, Jewish people are not all in the media. A few of them are, but they are just as unobtainable to those rank and file Jewish people as everybody else is. They can't just... Again, I think the stereotypes here are pretty thick, that because there are Jewish people, they have influence over Zionism. It doesn't work that way.
I would make the
how much influence do you have over black people? So we'll use this as an example, because we think that Jewish people just rank and file.
Good question. No,
okay, how much influence do we have over black people?
As much as your voice allows, as much energy as you put into it. And my thing is, they're not putting enough energy into it, because when they was killing Jews. Like a year back or whatever like that, and they signed the bill, they were super loud about that. They were super
let me
loud.
ask you a better question.
Jew.
Do you know any Jewish people?
Man, I don't think I do.
So here's what I would suggest at the time. So before you make some of the prognostications you're making. Go get you some Jewish friends and then have a conversation with them, because I think they could better explain it to you. Because right now we got two black men that aren't Jewish at all talking about a whole nother culture of people. So here's what you should do. Go get you a Jewish friend. Take them out to dinner, go to lunch with them, go to Benji's, go get a corned beef, and just have a conversation with them, and they could better explain to you their connection to Zionism and to Israel way better than I can. Is that a deal? So the next time we reconvene, you'll have a couple of Jewish friends that you go play poker with, and then we can have a conversation about how that went. Go get you some Jewish friends.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, because I don't know none.
Yeah, you gotta get you
maybe
some.
That's a problem too.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe a problem on both sides though. On both sides, not just on my side. Maybe on their side
They
too.
should be seeking you out too. So any Jewish people that are listening, the town is open for a meet and greet. I'll host.
That's funny. But that's real though. But still make your voice, turn your volume up accordingly. It shouldn't only go for black people though.
Okay.
It should go for everybody. On the scale of on the moral scale, because it seems like some people are getting away with the moral stuff. Because we can't say this stuff ain't wrong. If you don't know
any Jewish people, then how would you even know what Jewish people are saying? Because you would start with the Jewish people that you know that are your friends that are in your circle. And if you had some, they might really be seriously raising the alarm, but you wouldn't know that because you don't interact with the Jewish people. And I'm not necessarily blaming you for that, because sometimes it's hard to find a good Jewish friend. But we're determined. In fact, why don't we do this? Any Jewish people that are listening, would you guys be willing to be friends with the town? He's very nice. He gets a little agitated sometimes, but he's generally a good guy. So then there you go. I'm going to get you some Jewish friends.
Okay, we'll find. We'll see. Y'all got the number up on there. Y'all can text me though.
Okay, I'm gonna give the number out to only Jewish people only now. All right, the town. Thank you for that. I felt like that conversation sounded a little borderline unacceptable, but I wasn't doing anything wrong. He's got all these stereotypes about Jewish people, but he doesn't know any.
It kind of reminded me of like a white person complaining about black people, but then they have no black friends.
That's exactly what it sounded like. And I was trying to make that connection because I could see a white person saying, how come you blacks aren't standing up more? How come you're not raising your voices? And then a white person would say that, and legitimately, because if you don't know any black people, if you are not connected to any African-American culture, then you don't know what we are doing nor how we are standing up. Let me go ahead and say this. When it comes to crime, no one is irritated and upset more by crime in the black community than black people. But most of y'all wouldn't know that because you're scared of black folks. The 1994 crime bill was us. Harsher punishments on crimes a lot of times starts from black people's frustration with people that look like us, that share fellowship and kinship with us, doing things that harm us because we live right on top of each other. We live in a segregated community. So we are the first ones to say we want more police. We want more enforcement. The loudest voices that I heard, period, point blank, no exception, when it came to reckless driving was black people. Our cars were getting broken into. Our cars were getting stolen. Our Kias, our Hyundais. We got tired of people weaving in and out of traffic and blowing traffic lights. The majority of the people, my opinion, that were hurt in all of this reckless driving over the past couple of years were other African Americans, whether we were hurt directly or our insurance premiums went up because insurance companies still redline us when it comes to insurance. You think they don't? If you live in a certain zip code, I guarantee you, no matter what your driving record is, you're going to be paying more for insurance just because you live inside of this red line. That's why some of y'all put on your car insurance a different zip code because it's outside of the red line. B. Bruce says, I know Rabbi Finkelstein and James Wickstrom. I'll do an interview with them. Absolutely. I would love that. Tell them to hit me up. Thank you, B. Bruce, for telling us how diverse your friend group is. We appreciate that. What have we learned today? When your 16 or 17-year-old goes to a nightclub, just tell them to leave when it's time to go instead of getting in a fight. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located,